you. Can I put this up here? What's up, Los Angeles? Can you hear me? Special thank you to the FreeBritney organizers.
Yes.
And all of Britney's great fans and followers, because this could not happen without you guys. So my family is extremely appreciative. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm not going to make it long. You've heard a lot of kind of sad tales, and my mother's is one of them. My mother is Doris Hamilton. Well, first of all, let me just introduce myself. I'm Rio Hamilton, and my family has been victimized and traumatized by guardianship and conservatorship in New Mexico. We're extremely upset about this, and we need your help. This movement, this Free Britney movement, say it with me one more time. Free Britney! Has really brought light to what's going on with conservatorship and guardianship in America. And it's hard to say those words, in America, because they're literally taking equity, property, anything they can from people who are vulnerable. It doesn't just happen with pop stars, it happens with elderly, it happens with people who are disabled. We are in a real situation here. My mom, in July of 2019, I went with a lawyer to go and see about getting a power of attorney. I wanted to help my mom clean and organize her house that she'd been living in for 40 years. Now, the attorney, 3 days later, filed an emergency petition declaring my mother incapacitated and saying that she was the lawyer representing me. What? Yeah, it happens. 5 days after that, they seized my mother's bank accounts. She had no access to any money. 3 weeks later, a court order with police at her door take her from her home to the hospital, and my mother has never been back to her home since. They put her in a lockdown memory care unit and began a routine of isolate and medicate. She wasn't allowed to leave the facility. She wasn't allowed to go to church. She wasn't allowed to vote. She wasn't allowed to see her own doctor. Her mail was interrupted, oftentimes opened before she got it, and relatives and friends who were calling this facility were repeatedly questioned and then told that she wasn't available. At no point has my mom ever been granted due process. Her first court appearance didn't occur until October of 2019. She had no access to any funds to hire a lawyer to protect her. So they submitted this fraudulent petition with my name on it, and then the lawyer began to represent my mother against me. What? And then after that, the lawyer represented the guardianship company against me. So now, I want to tell you a little bit of something of what we found out in January 2020. This guardianship company that's been running around collecting up old people and disabled people for 17 years in New Mexico had no license, no certification, and no bond. And they are operating at the will of the court. When the judge began his hearings, he wouldn't even acknowledge my mother. She's sitting there, he would not say good morning, hello, Mrs. Hamilton, nothing. They just wanted her money.
What's the judge's name?
Judge Manuel Arrieta.
Humans like that.
Even after the judge's approval for me to go into a home that I owned with my mother, the court-appointed guardians continued to change the alarm code so that each time I went into my own house, the alarm went off and the police showed up.
Wow.
Now, I don't know how many of you are here are a black man living in America, but when the police show up to your house That's a different thing. They're ready to shoot. They're ready to do anything to make you look like you're in the wrong. In I already told you this. Even after numerous grievances have been filed against the Guardian Company, by the community, by state senators, by state representatives, by other lawyers, my mother was still kept under this same guardianship company. It's disturbing to watch the lawyer who originally filed a petition to switch over from representing me to representing my mother against me. Then she switched again to represent the uncertified predatory guardian against me. And this is what the guardian said in regards to not being bonded. It was too expensive, so they decided to avoid that step.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Let's hear it.
Ridiculous.
One more time. Free Britney.
Free Britney.
Free Doris. Thank you. To date, there has been no detailed accounting from the guardian and conservator as to how they have managed my mother's estate. We have no records of what they paid the lawyer. We have no records of what they paid themselves. I've learned what is legal isn't always logical, and what is legal can simply be ignored by a judge. Oh, by the way, judges have immunity. Those of us who have weathered and witnessed a broken, predatory conservatorship and a guardianship system are painfully aware that the system just isn't broken. They're ignoring the law.
Corrupt courts.
I've learned that judicial judges don't always adhere to the state judicial rules because they have immunity. Let's say it one more time. The judges have immunity. Let's do a Free Britney. Free Britney!
Free Doris.
We need a federal law that protects families from equity theft.
Yes.
We need a federal law that keeps wills and trusts in place.
Yes.
We need a federal law that outlines the roles and responsibilities for those involved in professional guardianships and enforces punishment to those who break the law.
Yes.
We need a federal law that limits the use of emergency petitions. And we need a federal law that prohibits predatory guardianship.
Yes.
As in my case, there are thousands of others who have suffered and been pulled apart from their loved ones. Parents and children have had to spend their assets fighting the lies that predatory lawyers submit in court documents. Guardians and conservatorships law should be addressed to the rights of families, yet instead they are rigged to protect the predators.
Yep. Disgusting.
It is disgusting. Free Britney!
Free Britney!
Free Doris!
Free Doris!
Not only has my mother been denied her civil rights, but her life savings and my inheritance have been stolen, and we've been abused in the process. Free Britney!
Free Britney!
Free Doris!
Free Doris!
And free all the other victims in this predatory and dangerous system designed to liquidate assets instead of protecting the vulnerable. Thank you very much for your time.